What were you doing at 20 years old? Trying to figure life out, trying to survive. Now imagine this. At 20 years old, you command tens of thousands of soldiers. You overthrow the most powerful dynasty in your land. You face generals trained by Alexander the Great. And you win. This is not legend exaggerated by time. This is history. His name was Chandragupta Maurya. And before he turned 21, he would unite most of India under one empire. India was broken, kingdom against kingdom, greed against greed, power built on fear. The Nanda dynasty ruled from a throne surrounded by gold, and protected by terror, taxes crushed the poor. Corruption poisoned the court, and in the northwest, the shadow of Alexander the Great still lingered. His generals controlled territories. Foreign banners flew on Indian soil. The people were tired, but no one dared to rise. Until a boy no one feared started dreaming dangerously. He was not born into royalty. No golden cradle, no royal applause, no army waiting for him. Some say he came from humble beginnings. Some say he was abandoned. What we know is this: he had nothing. No throne, no inheritance, only hunger, only ambition, the kind of ambition that makes kings uncomfortable. In the shadows of chaos stood a man named Chanakya, a scholar, a strategist, a mind sharper than any blade. He had been humiliated by the Nanda king, and he wanted revenge when he saw Chandragupta. He didn't see weakness, he saw fire, and instead of putting it out, he forged it. The training was merciless: war strategy, espionage, psychological warfare. How to win battles before they even begin. How to break alliances. How to turn fear into loyalty. The boy who nobody noticed was becoming something dangerous. Then came the first attempt. They attacked too soon, too bold, too early, and they were crushed, defeated, scattered, humiliated. Most stories would end there. This one didn't. Chandragupta did something rare. He studied his failure, he adapted, he waited. And when he moved again, he moved differently. Instead of attacking the strongest kingdom first, he started small, village by village, region by region, building loyalty, building strength, building belief. Farmers became soldiers, rumors became whispers, whispers became prophecy. A new king was rising. And this time, he was patient when he finally returned to face the Nanda Empire. It wasn't reckless, it was calculated. Spies infiltrated the capital, allies were secured, supplies were cut. The powerful Nanda king found himself isolated. And when the final battle came, it was swift, brutal, decisive. At just 20 years old, Chandragupta Maurya seized the throne of Magadha, but he wasn't done, not even close. In the northwest stood Seleucus I Nicator, a successor of Alexander the Great, experienced, battle-hardened, confident. He expected a young Indian king to fold. Instead, he met war elephants. He met strategy, he met resistance. The clash shook the region. Greek phalanxes against Indian force, steel against thunder, and in the end, Seleucus did something unexpected. He negotiated, territories were exchanged, an alliance was formed. At 20 years old, Chandragupta forced one of Alexander's successors into diplomacy. Let that sink in. From Afghanistan to Bengal, from the Himalayas to central India, the Mauryan Empire was born. One of the largest empires in Indian history. Trade flourished, roads were built, administration strengthened. He didn't just conquer land, he unified a civilization. He brought order to chaos. And then, years later, the ruthless conqueror shocked the world again. He walked away from the throne, from absolute power, from the empire he built. He chose a life of spiritual discipline, silence, over conquest. Few rulers conquer empires. Even fewer conquer themselves. He was not born into greatness. He built it. He was not handed power. He took it. At 20 years old, while most are still searching for direction, he reshaped history. History remembers kings, but legends are forged in fire, and Chandragupta Maurya was fire. And that was only the beginning, because empires do not end with one ruler. From the fire of one king, another rises. From the shadow of one throne, another legend is born. If you want more stories of rulers forged in war, of empires built from nothing, of leaders who changed civilizations forever, then stand with us, subscribe, because this is only the first flame, and the next legend is already waiting.